Hello everyone, this is Mr. Gloria and welcome to another video tutorial for Algebra 1. And for today we're going to go over evaluating function notation using the Desmos calculator. Okay. Very quick review of what function notation means. Okay. A function notation is almost exact same thing as an equation in the form of y equals, say, 3x plus 1, but in this case we change the y and replace it with the f of x. Now this f of x is the name of the given function, where x is the input, and when that input value or the domain is plugged into x, the resulting number or value is what we call the output or the range of the given function. Okay, right. So again, in my previous video you probably noticed that we use the same given values or exact same Jamboard, but those were actually discussed or solved by hand. This time we're gonna use a graphing calculator tool called the Desmos. You can download the Desmos application in your iPad if you have one, or a cell phone if you have one, or you can go to desmos.com in your web browser, type it in your web browser, then you can use the Desmos online. The easiest way is to go to our Google Classroom, and under classwork, the Desmos link is provided in there. Alright, let's look at the examples in here. Evaluate each function for the given value. Okay, so let's look at number 1. F of x equals x plus 7, and we wanted to evaluate this when the value of x is 5. Okay, so I'm gonna go open a new tab or a new application for my Desmos, and the exact same thing, f of x equals x plus 7. Let's type it, f parenthesis x equals x plus 7. You can also just type y equals x plus 7, and it will do the same trick. Now this time we want the table of values. Okay, this gear on top of the equation editor on the upper right corner, that gear right there, gives us an option, to have a table to duplicate the function or to change the color of the graph. Let's say I want to change it to blue. Click on that and just change it to blue or whatever color you want. Okay, now see, the graph changes. Now I want table of values. The table of values default is from -2 all the way to +2, and the x value that I'm looking for is not in here. Okay, don't worry about that. We can always add x value in here. So I'm gonna go on the bare bottom and just type my domain value of 5, and that gives me range or y equals 12. Okay, so let's go back to our Jamboard and put the answer 12. There you have it. As easy as 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, question number 2. G of x equals 3x minus 8, and we want to know g of -3. Okay, do not be alarmed if we use a different letter aside from f. It's also a name of the function. We have g of x, h of x, j of x. Okay, again, they are just name of the function. So in this case, we're going to type the given function in the Desmos calculator. Okay, let's go get that. I'm not going to delete the given function. I'm just going to add a new one, but disable the graph by clicking on that circle. The given is g of x equals 3x minus 8. Okay, and we want the table of values. Boom. Okay. Let me actually click here to disable the graph. There you go. Okay, so -2 all the way to +2. But we want -3. So again, it's not in here. So let's add the -3 on the bottom, and that gives us -17. Okay, so g of -3 is -17. Okay, moving on to problem number 3. We have g of x is 2 over 3x minus 1. Okay, and we want h of 9. Okay, let's go back to the Desmos calculator. Okay, add the function underneath this one. So h of x equals 2/3 arrow to the right x minus 1. Okay, this time the value of the domain is not in here. So again, before we do that, click on the gear and select the table. Okay, so we have our table in here. Okay, so don't worry about those what do you call these decimals in here. Okay, we don't want those values. What we wanted is when x equals +9. So let's type 9, and that gives a whole number of 5. Okay, so let's go back to the Jamboard and put answer of h of 9 equals 5. Okay, next, if we have f of x equals x squared minus x, and we want to know f of -4. Okay, switch back to Desmos. Okay, and let me see, why do I have boom? Okay, where's the green graph? All right, so let's type the next function. X, it's f parenthesis x equals x squared minus x. Okay, notice that the graph is not a straight line, it's a curve. We call this graph as parabola. Okay, we're gonna deal with these. We're gonna talk about these in our next few more lessons. I think about 2-3 more units to go before the quadratic functions. Okay, and we want to know, what do we want? The value of f of -4. Okay, going back to Desmos again, let's click on the gear and select table of values. -4 is not here, so let's type it on the bottom. -4, bam. Oops, why is it's not giving us the table of values? Okay, f of x equals x squared minus 1. You know what, let me try something here. Let me delete this and type y. There you have it. So the y kind of works here. When x equals -4, y is +3. So whenever your Desmos calculator kind of don't give you the table of values, try changing the g of x or h of x or whatever x it might be to y. Okay, all right, moving on to number 5. F of x equals -x squared plus 6x minus 4, and we want to know the value of f of x when x is -5. So let's type it. So instead of typing f of x, I'm just going to use the y equals x squared. Okay. Oh, negative x squared. My bad. Negative x squared. Okay, plus 6x minus 4. And we want the table of values. Click on that gear again. And table of values. And we want positive 5. Okay, so let's type 5 underneath. And the range is 1. So f of negative 5 is 1. Bam. Alright, for the last example, 6g of x equals negative 1 half x plus 9, and we want the g of negative 8. So when x is negative 8, what is our y value? Okay, so going back to Desmos. Okay, you know what? I'm going to delete some of the functions in here. So that way we're going to have more, room. So negative 1 half. Oops, I forget the y. Okay, let's try f of x again. Negative 1 half x plus 9. Okay, we're going to click on the setting or the gear and select the table of values. There you go. And we want the negative 8. So type negative 8, and that gives us positive 13. So when x is negative 8, g of x is positive. Oh, why is this not working? Positive 13. There you have it. All right. So that's how easy evaluating function notation using the Desmos calculator. Okay, like what I always tell the class, practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. Enjoy working with your function notation. Once again, this is Mr. Gloria, and good luck.